Newswatch Sports is brought to you by Park City Toyota. Toyota, make things better.
And now, your local sports with Liam Nixon.
Buddy, well, a pretty familiar face to Tigers fans was in town this morning. Detroit Red Wings general manager and, of course, former Tiger goaltender Ken Holland was a guest of honor at the Stampede parade. I had a chance to catch up with him to talk about his team's championship season, the Medicine Hat Tiger connection, and his history of NHL success. Yes, we are down here with the general manager of the once again Stanley Cup winning Detroit Red Wings. I'm sure that never gets old to say, Mr. Ken Holland. Mr. Holland, first of all, welcome back to Medicine Hat. What brings you down to our part of the country?
Well, I'm obviously back for today. It's great to be back. You know, I played junior hockey here in the mid-'70s. We lived here for 10 years in the mid-'80s to the mid-'90s, so sort of a second home to me, and I'm thrilled to be back, seeing a lot of familiar faces.
Let's talk about the season that was obviously a great success for you guys. As a general manager, do you ever have an actual true moment to sit back and fully relax and enjoy a championship, or is it we won the championship one day, then the next day you're thinking, how do we do this again next year?
Well, you know, we won on a Wednesday. We probably enjoyed it till through the weekend, and then you know, you start worrying about the draft and worrying about next year's team. But you know, I've been out west now for about 10 days. I was in Vernon, British Columbia, which is home for me. You know, it's kind of things are slowing down, so I'm starting to enjoy. I just had the Stanley Cup in Vernon, so I think when you get the Stanley Cup with you and with your family and friends, that's the time when you really enjoy what the team has accomplished.
You mentioned the draft, and a player that you took in a draft not so long ago was Darren Helm, who of course Tiger fans recognize from not too long ago at all. When you saw him on the ice during your Cup run, did he bring to the team exactly what you thought he would when you drafted him?
Well, you know, what he did this year, we really thought he was going to do for us in 2 or 3 years. We thought he'd need some time in the minors to really get to feel of pro hockey. But, you know, really about February and March, he got injured in training camp. The first half of the year was slow. He had to get healthy and get a feel for pro hockey. The second half of the year, he really took off. And he played a few games for us in March. He made a real positive impression on Mike Babcock. And when we got into the Nashville series and halfway through the series, Mike felt that we needed more speed in the lineup, a puck hound, which Darren is all those things. And he really made us, Darren really allowed us to have 4 lines. Darren really made a 4th line for us. He brought the ingredients that with Yuri Hudler and Darren McCarty to allow us to have a 4th line. And I think the depth, being able to roll 4 lines was a real advantage for us.
It seems like you and your scouting staff just have a knack for getting some of those gems later on in the draft without divulging too many secrets. What is it that you guys are able to do so well that allows you to seem to do that year after year?
Well, I think 2 things. Number one, we like skill. You know, so we draft skill. And then I think the second advantage that we've got, because our team is good, we're able to be patient. Because a lot of kids, you know, Darren Helm might be ready to play in the NHL at 21. Some kids are 24. And you know, because we've got a competitive team, we can wait for a kid to be ready to play in the NHL. You know, it's a man's league, and you can't put players into the NHL until they're ready to go. So I think that's the biggest thing is patience.
You made one of the biggest splashes in the free agent signing pool this summer, of course, grabbing Marian Hossa. At what point did you think that he might be a player that you wanted to go after?
Well, we actually tried to acquire him at the trade deadline. I talked to Atlanta at the time and had permission from Don Waddell to talk to Marian and his agent. Ultimately, we weren't prepared to pay the price or didn't have enough assets to make the deal. And when we got to the trade to July 1st, we made an offer in a long-term deal. I know that Marian had a lot of offers on long-term deals substantially higher than ours, and ultimately made a decision to come to Detroit on a 1-year deal. So, you know, we're thrilled to have him. Feel very, very fortunate that a player decided to walk away from millions of dollars to come to Detroit on a 1-year deal. So, you know, I'm hoping it's going to be a long-term relationship, but, you know, the cap is going to be a major factor. I've got to get Zetterberg signed, who's an unrestricted free agent, Johan Franzen, unrestricted free agent, Michael Samuelsson, Marian Hossa. So we've got some challenges, but certainly we think for the 08-09 season, we like our team.
You mentioned that, you know, he took a 1-year deal and left some money on the table. A lot of people know him from Edmonton was offering him a lot of money. Was there a bit of you that was a little bit surprised that he turned down that much money to come to Detroit for 1 year?
Well, more than a little bit of surprised. I think a lot surprised. I mean, I remember when I got the call from Rich Winter, I was sitting in office in Detroit, my office with Steve Yzerman and Jimmy Nill. And, you know, we were sort of in a daze, I think, when I got off the phone. You know, when you're aware that people that a player's been offered 60, 70, 80 million dollars. He wants to come on a one-year deal for 7.45. It's hard to put your head around that, but you know, obviously he feels very, very confident about his ability. There's no doubt he wanted to join us real bad, and you know, again, hopefully after 1 year, we're able to find a way to keep him in Detroit.
Last question for you. We're down here for the Stampede. What's your favorite part about coming down to the Medicine Hat Stampede?
I think the people. I just think the people of Medicine Hat are the greatest people. Again, spending 10 years here, we made a lot of friends. I mean, great people, community-minded. This is a wonderful time of the year. I remember, you know, taking our kids up to the Stampede and taking our kids to the grounds, and so it was an exciting time for our kids. So I just think the bumping into all the people is going to be fun for me.
Well, thanks a lot for this, and continued success as you move forward.
Thanks a lot.
All righty, from the arenas to the ballparks, and as we've been